Take 47. Hi, y'all. I'm Angie. Welcome to Ask Granny. This is going to be an odd episode because I'm having a lot of trouble with this question. I'm going way too far into my head and into my own brain for this one. And so if you're watching, please watch to the end because I have nowhere idea of where this is going exactly. But I have a challenge ahead of me, and y'all are going to sweat it out with me. I decided to just hit the record button and see if what's going on in my head I can get to come out of my mouth. All my links are down there. If you're new, I'm sorry this is the first one you're seeing. Please go back and watch some of the more sane episodes of Ask Granny. I didn't even bother with the shawl or the glasses today because I can't. I worked too hard on my eyeshadow to hide it today. Here's my question. The question is, should I wait until after I graduate to get married? Okay, number one, my dilemma is I don't have enough information. To me, I don't have enough information to give a precise type of answer to this question other than just wait. Like the simple answer to me is yes, wait till you're done with school because school is freaking hard enough without trying to do married relationship too. So that's the simple answer, but that's too simple and it's too simple and you can't, I don't like to generalize too much because that's lazy thinking, I guess. I try to imagine different points of view and scenarios. Okay, here's my deal. It kind of depends also on, are we talking high school? Are we talking college? Are we talking, graduate from what? Graduate from high school? Wait, please, just wait, because you have no idea how stupid you are right now. You think your accomplishments of the last 12 years of school amount to being a grown-up, and it doesn't really, because the world today does not prepare you for being an adult by the time you're 18. There's a lot of stuff you don't know if you are just graduating from high school. I did have no idea how ridiculously stupid I was at 18. I thought I was grown and knew everything, and that's kind of what being 18 is, being grown, and now no one can tell me what to do. It's very bad to just do things because you can. Yeah, see, here's where I get stuck in my head. If you're going to a nice trade school and you're about to learn a skill that's going to be able to earn you some money, I would suggest waiting because you might find out that person that you're wanting to spend forever with is not really the person you want to spend forever with, because we grow and we change with time, and you learn that you can do better sometimes. I know that sounds really shitty, but it's true. You sometimes think, man, if I had just waited a little while, I would have seen this thing that happened, and that would have made it easier to decide. Being married is one of those things I don't think I'm an expert on. For real, because I'm on my third, and this one is fine. Like, this one is fine. I've never had, well, I'll tell you, I can't say never. The first one I thought was going to be the perfect marriage and white picket fences and all that fairy tale crap you think when you're playing with your Barbie dolls and you're playing with your baby dolls and you're doing your girl thing. I'm talking to the girls because that's my only reference. Fellas, if you're feeling pressured to get married, just don't. Go find a guy that you respect and say, hey, I need you to talk me out of this, because they will. They'll say, don't do it, man. I'm sorry if that was a little stereotypical, but I have very strong opinions about the male folk, and I try to keep some of that to myself because I'm biased. I am biased. I'm glad I had daughters. I'm glad I gave birth to girls because I could relate. There's so much of maleness that I cannot even relate to. So I just, yeah, okay. It must be, I say to myself all the time, it must be a guy thing. So, because I don't get it. But I'm rabbit trailing here. This is what I've been doing for hours since I read this question. For hours, I have been vexed by this question. um, so if you're worried about school, do school, because school is the most important thing. Like love and sex and that sort of thing can come with, if it's true love, they'll wait for you to finish what you have to do, and you may change your mind by then. So I think it's a good idea to always wait. If you're even contemplating that it may be too soon to marry someone, just don't listen to your gut and say, wait, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait because married ain't all it's cracked up to be. I mean, if you can imagine yourself and this other person very old, look at me, okay? I was young once. If I'm not very old, but if you can imagine yourselves old together, and it it's easy, like, oh yeah, I can see me putting up with your nonsense. I can see that. Then that's probably a good person for you. I have to say, with my first two, I don't recall ever being able to get that mental image, like really get a good, clear picture of what's it going to be like in 50 years or 60 years. Not 5 years, not 10 years, not 20 years, because I'm fixing to hit 20 on wedding number 3 here, and I don't have all the answers. I don't. I wish I did, because I would be having a perfect life, and nobody is. So if you're looking for perfect life, and being married ain't gonna make it perfect. It's can you long term deal with their crap, because everybody has crap. I have crap, and things that we do that are irritating. It's the little things that you have to be able to put up with, because after over and over, because it's those little things that's just who they are, that you gotta kind of just don't look. It doesn't matter. I'm not saying anything. Um, Education is the number one thing in my book. So get yourself smart. Get yourself smart. Know some things. Go out in the world and learn some stuff. Travel if you can. And if you can't, read everything. Read everything. History books and geography books, because I wish I knew more about where stuff is. uh, I will not die wishing I had loved my husband more, because I couldn't love him more. I wouldn't still be here. Um, because it's not perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. So don't go into it thinking this is all going to be, sunflowers and butterflies. And it's not. It's not. People are gross. People are weird. And even the person you love is gross and weird sometimes. And you have to learn to deal with that sort of stuff. Um, yeah, see, then my brain goes somewhere that I don't want to say out loud. So, yeah, just let me back that up just a little. Um, I'm supposed to tell a story, and I've got so many, and I can't think of which one to pull out of my hat. Um, I was going to beauty school when my first marriage broke up, because we got married on my 19th birthday, and I was so smart then, and so brilliant, that I thought, this is what I'm going to do. And number one thing, if you're going to have to live with mom, yours, his, hers, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you're going to have to live with someone because you can't make it on your own after you get married, don't do it. Just don't do it. Make sure you can take care of yourself before you try to cohabitate with another person. I cannot stress that enough. So here I am at 19, and no skills, no job, fresh out of high school, nothing, no skills. Restaurant work. I tried a couple of weeks as a nurse's aide, which was god awful, and I hats off to all the nurses aides out there, because I couldn't do it. It was just too much. And there was a small period of time where I worked in a hotel doing, night duty at the desk, and that was really bad. And so you're kind of stuck with all this not being able to support yourself stuff if you don't have your education. And trying to do relationship and school is really hard. I started beauty school about a year before my first marriage ended. Now, my first marriage was an absolute wreck, train wreck of a thing. He was alcoholic and abusive, and anger issues and all those things. If there is violence, if there has ever been violence, if they've ever gotten mad enough to punch a wall, they will punch you at some point. So just get the hell away from that. That's way off on a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. But if there's any kind of violence going on, that's not the relationship you want to be in. And you sure don't want to be trying to deal with that if you're trying to learn stuff and go to school and study and do testing and be on time to classes and things like that. It's not worth it. It's never worth it. And I don't think I completed my train of thought before I went off on that. So if I'm wandering a bit, this is why. I told you at the beginning, this is going to be a really strange episode of Ask Granny. This is just me thinking out loud because I don't have all the answers, but I want to help anybody who might be in the situation. God dang, stop with the disclaimers already. Yes, I know, I'm hard on me. But it's because I can sometimes be more of an example of what not to do than an example of what to do. And don't get married just because you're in love. Go sit down and look at how much it costs to pay rent, and look at how much it costs to eat, and how much it costs to pay electric bills. And are you going to be able to afford to have internet, or are you going to be stuck with your cell phone bill? Has mommy been paying for that up to this point? You need to do a really hard look at what it costs to be grown up. If you're about to graduate from medical school, and you're in buttloads of debt, why would you want to do that to the person you love? Because as soon as you sign the paperwork, married is attached legally. And so if you don't want, somewhere down the line, the collection people coming after this person in lieu of getting it from you, there's that to take into consideration. I would definitely wait until you finish whatever schooling you're doing before you concentrate on, number one, planning a wedding. Because if you're really planning a real wedding, my first question would be why? Because that's like, I don't know, I never really had a fancy one, and I'm kind of glad I didn't. I had a wedding with the last marriage, but it was in my living room, and I've probably already told this story, so go check out one of the others. There's a lot of stuff on here about me, because I don't have any other reference than myself and my few times I've been around the block. I want to know more than anything if this person is prepared for the world, because if you're not prepared to be an adult, don't get married, because it's not going to make it easier to have another person who's probably not any more prepared than you. It's not a good thing to learn together, in my opinion. I could have done differently. And this is a little regret and a little bitterness talking. I won't lie. I won't deny any of that. But isn't that why you come here? I don't know why you come here. I do, sort of, but I'm not going to talk about that. I want to know how many of you out there have advice. Well, I want to know what you think about this subject. I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your pontifications on getting married. I want to hear your thoughts on education. Do you think I'm giving good advice here? Do you think I'm just rambling like an old fool? Because sometimes I think so. But I don't know. I really do think you should just wait. I think you should just wait. Um, if you decide to go ahead and do it, it's going to just add to the stress. And who needs to be stressed? School sucks. No matter how you slice it, school sucks. And if you're trying to do that and love and relationship and all that stuff too, it's just going to make it worse. And I don't want you to give up on the education. Whatever you do, get your brain. Get your brain and get your wits about you before you get married. Because don't go into it stupid. And if you're young, you're stupid. I'm sorry. It's just the way I see things. Is that ageist? I suppose it is, but I just know how dumb I was and how dumb my friends were, and we were all there one day a long time ago, and it's not so different. You know, people are different, but situations don't change so much. You know, life is life, and everybody's kind of wandering the same journey. We just want to succeed to be able to exist happily and comfortably and put yourself in a good place before you try to share yourself with somebody else. How is that? I'm running out of things to say. I could go on for hours about being married, like the whole subject of being married. You know, my philosophy for this past time and being successful in this is don't sweat the petty stuff and don't pet the sweaty stuff. Peace to everybody. I love you. Bye.